Welcome to 365 Sharing Links. This presentation will explain the difference between sharing and sending a link and demonstrate how to send file links. OneDrive is personal storage and therefore available only to you. Your organisation files or document libraries may be set up with different permissions for different areas of your business. For example, the marketing team could have access to the files and folders under marketing, but other staff may not. You may have noticed share buttons available in 365. If we share a file or folder, we are modifying the permissions on that file or folder. If the person that you want to share with already has access to a folder, then sharing is not necessary, but you could send them a link to the file so they can locate it easy. Every file saved in the cloud has a location, URL, or web address. You can see this in the online version of the apps above the blue title bar. Sending a link to a file instead of attaching it to email stops multiple copies or versions of a document floating around in your organisation. And because all cloud files contain a version history, it's easy to go back and view older versions of a document if needed. There are 4 types of sharing within Office 365. Anyone with the link share creates a link that any person can use to access the file or folder without signing into Office 365 or OneDrive. This link can also be forwarded around to anyone inside or outside your organisation. When you create anyone links, people need the link to have access. It does not make the file publicly searchable on the web, but they don't need to be logged in. This type of share modifies the permissions on that file or folder. People in the organisation with the link creates a link that only people in your organisation who are signed into 365 or SharePoint can use to access the file or folder. This link can be forwarded around only to people in your organisation. This link will not work for your guests in your organisation or for people who are not signed in. When you create this link, people in your organisation need the link to have access. It does not make the file searchable to everyone in your organisation. Depending on who has access already, this type of share could modify the permissions on that file or folder. Specific people creates a link that only the people that you specify can use to access the file or folder. If you selected this option, you would need to enter the names or email addresses of the people to whom you want to give access. It would not work for anyone else. This type of share modifies the permissions on that file or folder. People with existing access provides a link that can be used by people who already have access to the file or folder. It does not change the permissions on the item. Use this if you just want to send a link to somebody who already has access. We can share directly from File Explorer. Go to the file you want to share, right-click, select Share, select People with Existing Access, Apply, and Copy Link. If you select Copy Link, you'll be able to copy the link and then paste it elsewhere. If you choose, you could send an email. So I could send an email to Bridget and add a message. Here is the file you wanted, and click Send. I'm going to copy link. And now I have it available on the clipboard so that I can paste it elsewhere. Within Teams, you'll also see the ability to copy link. You can either select the ellipsis or select the document and copy link up on the toolbar here. Once I've copied the link, I can also go back to Posts and start a new conversation, I can paste that link directly into the post. Unfortunately, it's a really large hyperlink, so the other option, if I undo that, is to click the format button here, and you'll see a link button. If your screen's not very wide, it may be under the ellipsis, but I have my link here. And so I can have the text I want to display, and then the address of that link goes in the bottom, and insert. And there we have the link. I'll click send, and that's posting. I'm on Word Online now, and you can see there's a share button here, so I can choose share and get the same set of options that we did before. So I can still choose people with existing access, apply, and copy link from here. I'm going to cancel out of there, and now I'm going to open in the desktop app, open Word, and you'll see when Word opens, so we're back in the desktop app now, there is also a share button here which has exactly the same dialog box that we just used before. So you can share from multiple places. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in another video.